So, Kristen.
Yes.
It's exciting to talk to you about this because I think after 5 years, you've really done something, and I don't know that it's something you set out to do, but you've created a franchise, and it's sad that we live in a world that even has to be this way, that is about a strong girl with strong convictions, who's not always strong, but is a strong sense of who she is, and sort of never wavers. And because of that, we've literally, in my opinion, changed movies forever. You know, do you feel that? Do you sense that at all? Are other people saying it?
Yeah, no, that's like commonly talked about. I think that if anything, we sort of shed light on an enormous gap that's been wanting to be filled for a really long time, and sort of told everyone that it's possible. This thing that is so common that drives me nuts that Bella and Twilight is simply not, is when people try to fill that little void with false girl power, like, because it's such a thing right now. It's totally in to be like a strong girl. I feel like I read so many scripts that they changed the character name from Bobby to Sue, and they're like, cool, let's have Kristen Stewart play it. It's like, yeah, I don't really want to play a guy. I would really rather play a strong girl. And yeah, I feel like it's exactly what you just said. Is, you know, women's strengths are different. They are, you know, evident in very different ways, and it's not about brawn. It's not about being the loudest in the room. Sometimes it's about taking a step back and realizing that, you know, it's funny, what I'm about to say is like so cliche, but it's true. It's not the woman who's like in the front of the room desperately asserting herself. It's the one sort of clocking. That's the more interesting one. And you know, on the outside, you're this. Maybe you seem quiet. Maybe you seem a little introverted or shy or something. And to be able to say that you don't need to be loud. I don't know. You know what I mean? It's especially considering where Bella comes from and where she gets to. You have somebody who really has a lot of stock in her own feelings, and it's pretty I don't know, it's pretty great. I don't know if we're gonna like change. Hopefully that keeps going. Hopefully people demand that, you know what I mean. I think that they probably will. But yeah, good job, Twilight.
Well, I mean, when I start, you know, from when I started doing this, it was working on a movie like Legally Blonde, and that's totally different. But it was a moment where people were like, wow, women can sort of drive box office and can appeal to, you know, different things. And I think that, you know, there's also this word that kind of has been overused, I think, in the last several years, and people really like it, you know, awkward. But there's something about the fact, I think, that Bella could be genuinely have moments of awkwardness.
Pure.
But was never not who she was.
Right.
And she always knew who she was. And I think the greatest thing about this and sort of her moment of becoming a vampire is it just takes all those things and amplifies them and then throws some power behind it.
Yeah, it's true.
Were you aware of all that while you were playing that? Or was it sort of like, while you're making the two movies together, it was like, oh, we're Vampire Bella now, and so it's like...
time to be sexy and strong.
Yeah.
No. Yeah, no, I was so lucky to be able to play human Bella for so long that everything that makes Vampire Bella great was so natural, and I knew where it was coming from. It wasn't like, you know, all of the vampires have powers for a reason. We didn't get to see where they lived in their human lives, but with Bella, it's like all of the progressions are so there. It's not like it is a random idea for her to have a shield. It actually is very fitting. It's not, you know, it's not a completely arbitrary thing that she can drop everyone's guard. That she, you know, like, there's just no lying. You know what I mean? I think that really says something about her. I think as much of a physical thing as it was, and it was cool to be strong and fast and everything like that. It was nice to just see a fully realized version of Bella. Yeah.
Well, I love, because I think that this part of her that's sort of the thing that Edward can never see, because it's the thing that people guard themselves, that it actually was able to transfer into not only was able to guard you as a person, your feelings, whatever Bella's feelings, you were able to project it and really protect and guard.
Yeah.
And seeing that come alive was pretty awesome.
Yeah, it's sick. I love it. I mean, like, also I think it's interesting the fact that she's changed while she's giving birth. She's a leader of that family. I mean, she'll be a mother forever. Do you know what I mean? Even if her daughter grows up and whatever, there is that innate caretaking aspect to her. And also, you need to be a bit crazy to be in that position as well, to be like, no, I think everything's going to be okay. You just have to trust it. She's always given so much stock to her feelings, and even if they seem a little crazy in the moment, at the end of the day, I think she can stand up and go, I told you all, follow me. So it's really satisfying.
Do you have a favorite moment or scene that you finally got to play out in this last movie?
I think the first hunt is something that I've always really loved. Just to see, kind of like, you're kind of playing a bit of a baby again. And just like taking so much in a matter of a split second. And I didn't really get to jump off a waterfall. I didn't really get to tackle a mountain lion. It was just a big tube of foam, which was just as satisfying to take down, to be honest. But yeah, it was fun. I think probably the first hunt. I think it was difficult. That one's a really hard thing to pull off because it's so, I mean, it's so extreme. But I feel like I got to taste what that would kind of feel like.
Now that we've had this sort of thing going for so long, obviously, I think when you signed on to do this movie and it was Catherine Hardwicke was making this, $40 million vampire movie, I can't imagine in your wildest dreams it would have become this.
Nope.
Did you have a moment where you thought, wow, or do you remember what that moment was where you're like, whoa, this is, way beyond what I could have imagined? Yeah,
I always go back to Comic-Con. The first Comic-Con was so 100% disarming and overwhelming, and because I had done some movies before Twilight, and I knew what it felt like to really love something with a director. I knew what it felt like to really love something with another actor. Like, you make something together, you're both really moved by it. It's the most amazing feeling. It's if you can like something together or hate something together or find something funny together, it's suddenly 100 times more, rather than just having that experience on your own. And so when we sat, all of us together, in front of 6,000 people or something like that, that energy is the most... I mean, I knew that this was not... I knew it was going to get bigger. I was like, this isn't going to just stop. I mean, because it's contagious. That energy it's like fire. It catches. And I had never seen that before. And I had done a few movies. So probably Comic-Con.
Awesome. I'm out of time.
Cool. Awesome.